you're so confident about someone winning a tournament. I'm sure we felt that way so many times with going into this event with Rafael Nadal. And it's just unusual this year because Jannik Sinner is such an absolutely massive favorite, and he's not a clay guy, but it just feels like his game is transferable, obviously, to all surface. He's an all-court player, and he's been completely unstoppable. And, you know, that conversation surrounding who can stop Jannik Sinner, well, the guy who can stop Jannik Sinner is not only out for Roland Garros, but Carlos Alcaraz is out for Wimbledon too.
No, I missed that one. Was that a recent
that was very recent, within the last 24 hours. So,
well, that sucks.
It is a bummer. And that's not me speaking as a just like, oh, I'm being a Carlitos fanboy. I just want to see, want to see him in the mix. We want to see best on best as well. And you know, Jannik Sinner has been unbelievable this season. He's a fantastic player, great ambassador for the sport. I also believe we need someone to step up and challenge him and push him, because I don't want him to cakewalk through 7 matches here without dropping a set or something. So that is sort of the question of, obviously, Jannik Sinner versus the field. Who in this field can give him any kind of trouble?
Well, what do you think? Could that guy that beat him at the Aussie Open earlier this year in 5 sets in the semifinal perhaps be someone to mention?
Look, like, it's wild. Nobody else could have their clay court lead up be literally one clay court match and a loss to Dino Prismic, and maybe you say it just doesn't even matter. But that is the aura and the career that Novak Djokovic has had. We can never count him out. And you know, I'd say like he's had a dreadful clay court season, but he hasn't had a clay court season. He played 1 event and lost 1 match. But are we to really believe he's not going to be ready? He's motivated to win majors. That's all he cares about. He wants to win 1 more slam. He said the biggest hurdle for him, physically getting over the line, he gets tired at the end stage of Grand Slams. And then another hurdle is he doesn't believe he can beat both Sinner and Alcaraz in a tournament. Well, now
he doesn't have to.
He would only have to be one of them. So this is an opportunity for him, regardless of the perceived form coming in, because we don't really know.
And he's still seated 3rd, despite the fact that he hasn't played very much lately. He's still got that seeding, which is so important as well, because he doesn't have to worry about facing Sinner in the round of 16 or the quarterfinals. And they're in different halves of the draw as well. I'm very interested to see what Novak Djokovic can put together here. And you never, ever count this guy out. I mean, looking at the draw, to me, it was an easy pencil Sinner in for the quarterfinals. I've got Ben Shelton there, who's shown that he's becoming also more comfortable on clay. But I don't know. There's also a lot of names in here that I feel I'm not quite as familiar with, or names that haven't shown us their stuff yet. I mean, there's a lot of veteran names in there that I'm not expecting much from, like a Hubert Hurkacz, like a Matteo Berrettini, like a Denis Shapovalov on clay, for example.
Yep.
So in that first quarter, I mean, aside from Sinner and Shelton, is there anyone that's really speaking up to you? I mean, Francis Tiafoe isn't known to be a clay court player. Is there anyone in there that really speaks to you that could cause some trouble?
I would maybe say 2 names. Luciano Darderi played really, really well in Rome. He's got a big game. Young player who's kind of been rising. Had a particularly great win against Sasha Zverev in Rome to make the quarters, and then beat Rafael Hodar in 3 sets, who's kind of the new Spanish phenom. Now, he got hit off the court by Casper Ruud, but I think part of that was he played the late night match the day before and was just exhausted going into that Friday against Casper Ruud. I think he's dangerous. He's got a big game. I'm not going to claim he's going to be beating Jannik Sinner, but I think he could perform well. Alexander Bublik has been dangerous in the past on clay as well. Such a creative game. Brilliant player when he is on and when it's his day, and he seems to have a better head on his shoulders than in years past, and he's a top 10 seed here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a run from him. It's strange looking at Felix Auger-Aliassime as the 4th seed, because it's like,
isn't it?
He has an improved seed. His ranking's gone up, and it doesn't feel like he's had a particularly great clay court lead up. There's no sort of big standout result for me from Felix where I've gone like, wow, he's playing great tennis. I mean, just this past week in the lead up, he lost to Kovacevic in 3 sets, and in Rome he lost in the first round to Navone. So is he? Yeah.
He's not really inspiring. Well? He's not really inspiring a whole lot of confidence right now.
No,
unfortunately, and I wish he was. I wish I could say otherwise, but the results just dictate that that's not the case. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he went out in the first round. Even
Altmaier's a pretty good clay court player too, so that's already a dangerous one.
That's not an easy starting one. Just like I could see Chapo going out, maybe not against a qualifier, but maybe against a qualifier. And in the next round, he might face one of his, all-time foes, if I can call him that, in Jan-Lennard Struff, who seems to beat a Canadian every time he plays one. So I'm sure not holding my breath with these two. It could be that Gabriel Diallo was the last Canadian man standing. Although, who is he playing and where is he? He's in the bottom half, I guess.
He's in the bottom half of the draw. We'll take a peek at that in a moment. I do like the number 6 in this event right now. I think Medvedev is playing well. The last time I said that going into a slam, he lost early on Australia, but I am convinced he's trending in a better direction.
I just can't, I penciled him in to go deep here, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what about his clay court record? And I went back and he's played the French Open 9 times and he's gone out in the first round 6 of those times. So that
he did make quarters once.
Yes. Okay. And he has been playing a little bit better this year, right? Like it's been an improvement from a year ago, but that still doesn't mean to me that it's going to happen on clay. So I have no idea in this second quarter who I'm expecting to come through. It won't be but Gael Monfils, but God, I'd love to see him win a match at least. And he's up against a fellow French wildcard, Hugo Gaston. I don't know if the French organizers kind of fixed that one to give Gael a chance to have one last big win in front of. I hope they put him on a huge court. They got to put him on a big one, right? But yeah, I got like FAA and Kaboli down here, and I don't know how confident I feel about either of them getting there,
I would watch for Valentin Vachereau as well, the 16th seed. He's got a big time game, and it translates to all surfaces. He won his Masters 1000 last year in the fall, I think in Shanghai, and everybody at the time thought maybe this is sort of a fluke.
Right.
He's really backed it up. He played really well. I think it was in Monte Carlo. He made semifinals and kind of pushed Carlos Alcaraz there in the semis too, but got some big wins there. Beat Musetti, who sadly is going to miss this tournament. That would have been a name to watch for sure. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious if Vachereau kind of makes a decent run at a major, something that's sort of missing from his resume. But again, I think this is a pretty easy top half for Jannik Sinner in terms of like who could possibly trouble him. I don't think any of the players who could are on the top half of this draw.
Agreed. And then you look to the bottom half and you got names like Rublev, Casper Ruud. Can he rekindle some of his previous French Open success? Novak Djokovic, I can't wait. I want to watch every one of his matches. And listen, regardless what happens with Novak, we're getting near the end. So folks, like, enjoy watching him while you still can.
Yeah.
Because at some point in the near future, there's going to be no more members of the big three. He's the last one there. And you just never know with Novak. So I'm going to be excited to see what he does. Alejandro Davidovich Fokina, I think, has a very good shot of causing some trouble here as the 21st seed. And then Sasha Zverev, I mean, how does he handle the fact that he's got the number 2 next to his name? Is he going to be able to live up to that? Is he going to handle the pressure? Or, as we've seen time and time again at the majors, it just all that talent that he has cannot seem to find a way to him hoisting one of those trophies yet.
Yeah, I really think there's one name who's going to cause him a lot of trouble. I think in the bottom half of this field, I believe he might have to play in the round of 16. Arthur Fils is such a dangerous player, such an explosive game. He's been playing awesome tennis all year. We just needed him to be healthy, and the back really kind of set him back last year, but he is healthy and fit again. Stan Wawrinka, his final Roland Garros, we talked to him about him already on this show. I mean, talk about a difficult draw. That's a brutal first round for Stan. I would love for him to win a set, though.
Sure.
I can't see him winning that match. It just feels like too much.
Agreed.
But it would be amazing if he could win a set, and he'll have. It's going to be an interesting kind of crowd because Arthur Fils, the Frenchman, Stan Wawrinka playing his final tennis. The French adore him, so I think Stan's actually going to have the bulk of support there.
Yeah, my God, how many French players are in this slam? Just looking at what you've got up on the screen right now, it seems like there's 21
Yeah,
names.
they're all in that corner too. They're
Right?
all in the bottom half.
Yeah.
We should talk about this one player, Rafael Hodar, who's already inside the top 30.
You're just doing that because his name's Raphael. Come on. Is that what you're doing? You're just transferring your love of Nadal over to another man named Raphael here?
Well, we do have another Rafael who to me looks like a special player. He really does.
What is he, 19 years old? He's young.
19 years old. His pace of ball, his speed of shot, and the weight of the shot with the spin is really quite incredible. And he's just absolutely shot up the rankings over the past year plus. And in Barcelona, he made the semifinals before losing to Fils in 3 sets. Looked really impressive there, like dismantled Cam Norrie easily. Then he jumps over to Madrid, gets a couple quality wins, crushes De Minaur, beats Fonseca in 3, pushed Jannik Sinner. It's weird to say Sinner wins a match 6-2, 7-6 and was really pushed by a guy, but Hodar was close against him and had 7 breakpoint chances, couldn't convert. Then he goes to Rome and makes quarterfinals with a couple more really good wins. Rolled past Lerner Teen easily. Could have beaten Darderi, who I mentioned earlier. But I think this is a big opportunity for him to kind of make an imprint on the tour. He's just getting used to Grand Slam tennis. He's young, he's hungry, he's so focused. He's not, the most emotional type of player, doesn't show that type of emotion that like a Carlos Alcaraz or a Rafa Nadal would show. He's more laser focused, and let's see what he can do. I think he has a great draw. Taylor Fritz barely had a clay court season because he was injured, so I think he could be in trouble if those two meet early.
Hey, tell me, do you think his parents named him Raphael after Rafa Nadal? Like, it's quite possible, right?
When he's 19 and Rafael Nadal is like 40 now or almost.
Yeah.
That adds up.
Right. Like when he was born, Rafa was already winning French Opens.
Yeah. So, that's right.
I bet you there were a ton of Spanish kids named Rafa back in 2005 to 2026. Like say it's probably never ended. Right.
Yeah. Look, there's a good chance Diallo could play him, by the way. We mentioned Gabriel Diallo. I think he'll beat Duckworth in the first round, and then we'll have to deal with Hodar. Novak Djokovic, by the way, as we conclude here, he has a difficult draw in my eyes. I think he'll beat Mpeshi Perikar, but you got to face like the biggest server on tour right away is a little tricky. And then, João Fonseca, if those two play in the third round, talk about an electric, popcorn third round match. That would be phenomenal tennis. One of the best young ball strikers on the tour. What an opportunity for João if he gets that match to beat one of the big 3. This would be, of course, his best, maybe his only chance to do it. Never got to play Rafa or Roger. Here's his shot against Novak.
That'd be great. And this draw, I feel like it needs some storylines as it unfolds to bring it to life a little bit, to make it a little more exciting that first glance would give it. And maybe I'm being unfair, and maybe I just love that women's draw so much that it's tough for me to compare the two to one another. But hopefully undoubtedly there will be some stories as this progresses that capture our attention. One Canadian who's not competing, but I did want to mention, is a friend of ours, Alexis Galarneau, who fell 7-5 in the final set of the final round of qualifying as he was attempting to reach his first main draw of a Grand Slam, and would have really loved to have seen that. Hope that it does happen in the future. Would have been surprised, actually, maybe that it happened on clay as a first place for him, but we wish him the best because he's truly one of the good guys out there, and we're always pulling for him.
Yeah, he was so close. I'm still convinced he's gonna crack one of these main draw events of a Grand Slam at some point in his career. Should we go into predictions? You got anything spicy for us?
No, I'm just gonna make some shit up here. I don't know.
Nice.
No, I got Sinner and Kaboli. I got no, that's Iga Swiatek.
Kaboli in the semis.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hold on. I'm getting all mixed up in my 57 draws I've printed here.
You don't need to change it.
No, I'm not going to change it. He is the 10th seed. He's solid on clay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's who I'm going with. And then on the other side, I got to go with Djokovic. Okay. I am.
Yep.
And Davidovich Fokina, just because I don't like picking Zverev.
Oh,
and then,
wow.
And then Sinner's going to be one of those guys. Okay. It doesn't matter who. Sinner's going to be one of them. It's my prediction.
I love it.
That's it. That's all I got.
Okay. That's good. I mean, I couldn't dare go against Jannik Sinner to make the semis at least. But you're right with this bottom second quarter, rather. Like, wow, is it wide open for someone
it's gonna be a first-time
through.
Slam semifinalist, I feel like.
I think you're right. Would it be wild if I take Valentin Vachereau, who's just complimenting his game not long ago? So let's ride the wave and say Vachereau to the French Open semifinals.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the bottom half of the draw, which I think is the more interesting half of the draw. Yeah, I think Novak is going to be in this semifinal.
I thought you were going to go Casper Ruud. I was expecting you to go Casper Ruud.
I think Casper has a great shot in that round of 16. I don't know. I don't know. He hasn't done so well against Novak in the past, particularly on the major stage. So I think Novak ekes that one out in 5. He's getting a little tired. What's that?
You going to go with Zverev?
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. Zverev is going to, you know what? Like, I think we get a scenario where Zverev beats an exhausted Novak Djokovic, who is, his hamstring is injured, and it's like an ugly 4-set match where Novak doesn't give much. Zverev finds himself in another Grand Slam final, and he gets waxed by Jannik Sinner in 3.
No. Not even chokes. I mean, Sinner is
just outplayed. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. We'll go 1/2. Thank you guys so much for watching us at Matchpoint Canada. If you like our work, follow along, hit the subscribe button below.